Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Tom Brady has retired from the game of football after 22 years, right? 22 years.
22 long, great years of just nothing but success. But it's finally here. Yeah, I mean, you said it. You were talking about it earlier. You were like, I have a feeling it's going to happen today. I was on my couch 10 minutes ago, like I'm looking at my phone every second, like update, and then I finally got it, and I don't know how to feel. I mean,
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous, honestly. It just kind of came out of no. Or I don't want to say it came out of nowhere. We're gonna add Zach on here in 1 second to see what he thinks. Um, Zach, how you feel? What's going on?
I mean, look, I'm 22 years old. I became a football fan when I was 3, 4. I have never seen, I mean, most people that are in my generation are not familiar with what the NFL looks like without Tom Brady. And that is crazy to me. I've never seen, there has never been another fixture in a singular American sport, maybe since like Gordie Howe. I'll go back that far. That has been just iconic throughout generations. And I mean, love him or hate him, there's a reason he's the greatest ever to do it. Yeah. And I didn't expect I'd be choked up over this, but I mean, then again, this is coming from a Giants fan. He never tortured us. It was the other way around. And I mean, look, I can't hate Belichick because he's one of us too. So,
yeah,
I mean,
there's a lot of emotion right now. It feels like, I mean, it's the greatest quarterback that we may ever see in our lifetimes hanging it up. So,
I mean, Zach, you're right. I mean, you're 22. I'm 27. I've 17 years of my life have been just honestly devoted to Sundays, watching him on Sunday, Monday, Thursdays, just those Peyton Manning rivalries, those comeback wins, the Atlanta Super Bowl, even though like the Giants helmet catch, the Giants Mario Manning ham catch on the sideline, like to me, I've still got goosebumps even just talking about it. I mean, it will never be replicated, but if you hated the guy, shame on you. If you loved him, if you supported him, great. If you were even just a fan of him, it's like this is something we will never see. And for the Rams to do what they did to him, it's kind of cliche because who created this monster that became the 7-time champion? Who was the guy who gave him that first piece of like that life? It was Jack's Rams. They gave it to us, but they also took it from us.
We took it away. We took it away at the end of the day. So I mean, it's wild. So I mean, I don't even know where I can go to get like all of his career stats. People are kind of saying it everywhere. 7 rings, obviously, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 league MVP awards, 22 seasons.
It's 4 MVPs, Super Bowl
4
MVPs.
Okay,
yeah.
So I was reading the TB12 Sports tweet.
But does he win MVP this year? He's retired now, and the MVP has not been given out yet. Is this like a retirement / now he gets the MVP? He kind of goes off on a high note. He doesn't win the ring like Peyton Manning does, but like league MVP, retired, and that's it.
I wonder if Gronkowski is gonna hang it up next.
I truly believe that he will. I know he said that he'll come back if the time comes, but if he was asked right now, he wouldn't. I personally think that it's kind of time for him too as well. I mean, he's getting older. No one has the rapport he does with him, and if he want to play without Tom Brady in New England, I don't think he's going to want to play another year without him in Tampa. I think Kyle Trask, Blaine Gabbert, hopefully those guys learn what they learned under his belt. But I mean, it's hard to see him come back and try to be savage.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers.
If the Bucs can buckle down, they can sign most of their players, sign most of their stars again, and possibly get a Russell Wilson, Andrew, or Aaron Rodgers, someone like that. We're always hoping for some big guy, but I don't know. I mean, it's gonna take a lot for Gronk to come back, and I mean, OJ Howard's 2 years removed from the Achilles. Brate's old reliable. Gronk's turning, I think, 33 this season. It'll be tough, but I mean, maybe one more season, calls it quits after year 12, in honor of his buddy. But
we'll see. Henry's calling in. We're gonna give it a shot here. So Henry,
there we
go. Let us know.
Go.
Henry, how bad you getting it?
Oh man, at least a foot, maybe more.
At least a foot?
Yeah, something like that. I'm in the middle of shoveling my driveway. And I get I'm like,
See,
okay,
you're
I gotta do something here. I gotta say though, as a Jets fan, this is music to my ears. But here's something that is a crazy stat I was thinking about today in the shower. Tomorrow will be the first day that I'm alive that Tom Brady is not a starting quarterback in the National Football League.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
you
was
young
born
guns,
so
man.
cool.
It's crazy. But you know what though? Like everyone says it. What a time to be alive in the world when you get to watch the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's, like these goats that have played. You know, even if you hate them, it's just like when they're gone and like when Kobe left. We all love him and hate him, but like you look back and you go, this guy was such a game changer to the NFL, to the NBA. Like he's gone, but you know what? He'll be back in some kind of way, shape, or form. We know he's going to retire a Patriot, that 1-day contract thing. So we're going to have all those sentimental stuff. But, like, what does the NFL do now? Like, I know he doesn't run every team. He's not the GM. He's not every quarterback. But, like, is this it? Is this the new regime of football going forward? The Herbert Allens, the Mahomes, Jacksons, this is basically it. There's no more Big Ben, no Eli, no Peyton Manning. Aaron Rodgers is still dwindling there. Drew Brees is gone. Big Ben is gone. Like the guys I grew up with as a 27-year-old like football fan, they're all gone. The guys I've watched get drafted in 04, 05, like that's it. Now it's like your guys' football. The younger guys, the guys who are now going to be when I'm 50, retiring, hopefully, something like that. So,
all right.
We got Nick calling in really quick, so we're gonna have to throw him on here.
Here's Nick.
I'll give you the
Why does this not feel as good as I pictured or I imagined my entire life?
because the first guy that was on it was La Canfora.
You might be right.
That was exactly it.
I'm 32, full discretion, just turned 32 in October, and for 22 years he's been in the league, and he's been awesome. even when he just started as a rookie, and or when he came in, and his first 2 years he wasn't obviously the Tom Brady he turned into, but he was still, you just felt something was different with him, the way they just won games and they put it all together. And I was 10 years old when he came into the to the league. My entire life watching football, my entire conscious football fanhood, he was, and I'm a Jet fan, as Henry is. And Henry, you're half my age, I think, if that's right.
Just about.
All we know is Tom Brady just shitting on us, and we're not alone.
All of us
every
are
team,
feel that one.
And
all of 32.
Yeah. And there's been some of our most good memories watching the Jets is some good games against Brady, mostly bad, but some of them are really good. The playoff game, obviously, that game in the pouring rain on a Thursday night. So there were some really fun games, and when you beat them, it felt extra special. And the one regret, maybe two, like maybe I'm looking back at it now and I'm like, maybe if he would have stayed in New England, it would have been different today. Because over the past 2 years, you felt him kind of break out of his Patriot Belichick shell. Creating the Twitter account, creating the Instagrams, the memes, the fun videos. He was able to kind of be himself, and maybe if he was not with the Pats for that long and we saw this 10 years ago, some people would like him even more than they do. But man, you respect everything about the guy. There'll never be a Tom Brady again, no doubt about it.
Not.
No.
Just the way the league is, how players come and go so freely, and the dedication, and to his last game, the dedication, and sometimes not sometimes, but the bratty, everything has to be his way, and that made him so great, though. There was nobody. I really think he was the biggest and best competitor we've ever seen, and we probably will ever see. And that's not to say that other guys aren't huge competitors and don't die to win, but he was different. It was just something different about him, and when you played him, you wanted to beat him so bad, and most of the time, if not all the time, you didn't. And it sucked even more because he didn't. As a Jet fan, I probably regret not I know the last playoff game we played against him, the Jets won, and that's good and all, but you never kind of. It would have been so much sweeter if you would have beaten him in the championship game to go to the Super Bowl, and you can say, I got the edge. You finally got Brady. You won up to him. But a part of me is like, I've been waiting for this day for a long time, probably like 15 years. It probably became more realistic in the last 5 since you started hearing the rumors. And I think, Zach, what you said about La Canfora is very true. It's like, wow, did he really just get that scoop? So credit to him, I guess, the blind squirrel, right? So
broken clock's right
but-
twice, okay?
what's that?
The broken
The
clock.
broken
is right.
clock, yeah.
Hey, even
Blind
Bob
squirrel
Nightingale
finds
gets
a nut.
baseball scoops every so often. But this is going to be like if Bob Nightingale breaks the end of the lockout and then, oh, it's true. It actually was
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I felt like when I saw, maybe because you did hear the rumors 2 days ago, but when I saw Schefter's tweet, I guess maybe it won't register until we don't see him, next year, right? It's like
Yeah.
besides for the 1 year when he had the torn ACL week 1 against the Chiefs with Bernard Pollard, and he's been out there every single week, even when the Pats or the Bucs have clinched and they don't need to win, he's still playing.
It's
in
surreal.
blowouts, he's still playing. So
Last year he played all of last season on a torn MCL.
Yeah, he was just a different breed, and as awesome, as a Jet fan as it is to see him or not have to see him, I should say. It sucks as a football fan and someone who respects the game that you probably won't ever see somebody as good and as competitive as Brady. But we are in good hands. Like I think, Stefan, I don't know if that was you or Zach who mentioned like the Mahomes, now the Allens and the Herberts. Rodgers, if he's still there, obviously he's great. I'm leaving some guys out, but you have Burrow coming up, and it's
Just
Burrow,
a young
Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Yeah. So there's a ton of good quarterbacks, and I hope ours turns out to be half as good as any of these guys. But it's you just have to respect the greatness that was Tom Brady. And man, it's going to be weird. It was weird to not have Manning around. It's going to be even more weird to not have Brady.
I think, like you said too, I don't think it's going to really settle in until week 1 comes around next year and we don't see him suiting up.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
where is
and
he?
like, what do the
is
Bucs
he coming
do
a curtain
now?
call? I think it's honestly Kyle Trask time. I know
There's
Blaine
no
Gabbert's
way,
been there.
dude.
No way.
I know.
Bruce
I know
Arians
it sounds crazy.
is on his last leg,
I
and
think-
you got so many veterans there. They got to make a move. They're gonna have to.
They have to.
I don't know
but
what
I
they
think
can do, but
it sucks so because they have 22 starters they still have to kind of re-sign.
yeah.
Or 22 players. So
please
like
do splash.
we were saying like he might get someone, but like you said, Nick, you're a Jets fan. We got Giants fans. We got Rams fans. Like we got everybody like coming together and saying like thank you. You
Yeah.
beat us. You were good. You were bad. We had like the whole can't wait. After you beat us in New England and go play against the Colts the year after that. It's like those are memories you look back. You're like, damn, this guy was everything. He came to Tampa. He left 22
Yeah.
years of success. Comes to this city. Wins the Super Bowl in this city. I am so grateful to watch that.
Yeah,
and be
that
a
was
part,
crazy.
Like, my lifetime to watch that. And now I feel like the epitome of what his career was is how it ended.
Yeah.
Like I said, he
he's
goes into the
played
Rams
great.
game.
He was awesome. It
He
wasn't
did, but he
like
goes
he had
into
a
the
bad
Rams
year.
game though, and they're down by so much, and you're like,
Yeah.
this is it. And he comes just 3 points short. Just like they beat the Rams in the first Super Bowl by 3 points. I think he knew he's like, I did everything I can do. I
Mhm.
won a Super Bowl in Tampa. I won 6 in New England. I dominated the AFC East. I dominated the AFC for so long. And now it's like, okay, take the realm. It's like that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles meme. It's like the turtles are all right there, the quarterbacks, and then they're just letting the Grandmaster just walk off into the sunset and just call it a career. I'm just truly blessed to have watched this guy for 17 years of my 27-year life. So
His first postseason loss came against his first postseason ended with a win against the Rams, and his last one ended with a loss against the Rams. So it really came full circle.
history always repeats itself in
All
one
right.
way or another.
I'll give you the 2 things that first come to mind. First and foremost, the 2027 Hall of Fame class is going to be absolutely ridiculous. I'll give you the name right now. Brady, Roethlisberger, Fitzgerald, Peterson, probably Gronkowski.
Yep. Definitely Gronkowski.
Unless they waive
Wow.
that 5-year rule and just put him in next year.
I
They
say
might do that. Do you think they do that for Tom Brady? Do you think they
Do you
just
think any
waive
player
the
has an
rule?
exception? Like, is Brady the only exception that gets that done because of what he's done for the league? Like,
Yeah,
there
Yeah, I
could
mean,
be no one
they
else.
probably won't. The Hall of Fame is very,
Strict with their
traditional,
stuff,
and there's no need to let him do his thing for the next 5 years. He's a very young 40. What is he? 45. Looks great shape. So he's not in a rush to do that. I'm sure he'll stick around the game in some capacity, and
Yeah.
it's just another crazy thing with him is when you are the best, you get everybody's best shot. You know what I mean? You would never catch a team not giving their best to beat the Pats, and that's what makes it even more just crazy. What they did. Because you just think of it as a competitor, even as a kid growing up. Trying to play and pick up football or basketball. You played a kid who was the best. You wanted to beat him, right? So it was like you gave everything, and he's still. I don't have his record. I know, Jack, you had that Field Yates tweet up, but
Yeah.
just
I could bring that up again.
those numbers, man, and that season with Randy Moss, that it felt, and I know they pretty much were. Nobody was going to beat that team. So when they lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants, it just felt like what just happened. It was like a glitch in the Matrix. Like that wasn't supposed to happen.
That was the best day of my life until it happened.
Honestly, dude, it's the first time I've ever rooted for the Giants in my life. I rooted for the Pats in the next Super Bowl. I'm not gonna lie. Like the next time they played the Giants.
Okay.
You're like,
Enough of this.
First, to be truthful, the other thing that is coming to my mind right now is, good Lord, the NFC South is going to be terrible next year.
Oh,
my
God.
God.
It's bad.
is
It's
what
gonna
Matt
look like
Ryan's the
that
best
NFC
quarterback
East.
right now? Like what?
Yeah, I
Matt
mean that's
Ryan?
why. Yeah, I think so, and that's why I don't think Tampa's going to go, because they have by far the best roster in that division.
For now.
Even if you do take out Brady and
until people
Gronk.
retire.
Yeah, I mean they still got a ton of young. I
lose-
mean I'm sure JPP and Sue will go, but
Gronk
I mean
is
they
gone.
Gronk
Levante
is
might.
gone.
I think Levante might. I have a feeling he might call it soon too, because I could tell that even last year he didn't really want to come back for too much longer, but he got
there
the
definitely
ring.
will
He
be
did
some
it.
trickle down effects. Like is Fournette
Yeah.
how long is he signed there?
I think he might have. I think this might be it for him. I think this is the last year. He had a 2-year deal left, or a 2-year contract with them. So either they try to pick him up, but Rojo's still 20, 24, 25, so he's still very young. And
Yeah,
it
but
might
is he
save
any
some
good without
money.
Brady? It's like
No,
how many guys
yeah.
did Brady come in and he just elevates their games and they're like
Chris Hogan.
Fournette. Look at Fournette. Honestly, Fournette was decent in Jacksonville. Had a good year or two.
Fournette. I did not like Fournette before the
Fournette
Bucs.
was. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he
that's what I'm
was,
saying.
like,
He was solid, nothing special. Definitely underwhelming for where he was drafted. And then he comes in playoff Lenny. He's like the next best thing. It's like what Brady does to these guys. Like Evans is Evans. He's great, but he's getting older and he's hurt. He's banged up every once in a while. Godwin, who knows with the ACL.
Chris Hogan.
Yeah.
Amendola.
Danny Amendola.
Julian Edelman out of nowhere. Wes Welker, that was nothing in Miami. Troubled Randy Moss. I mean, his last touchdown throw was even like a crazy one to Mike Evans. Like
His last touchdown throw was a dime. Let's be honest.
I don't know. Like, this is like it's so like good and bad. Like I'm happy, I'm sad. Like I didn't think of a perfect way for him to retire. I wanted like a Super Bowl walk off in the sunlight, Peyton Manning-esque. But like for me, this is not bad. This is like I can accept this, and I can't be mad. I can't be like, oh, I wish he had one more year. I wish this. Because like you said, Nick, this guy elevated everybody. Fournette was nothing when he came into Tampa. And even when he came into Tampa, they had to put him in check. And then he got to the point where he's like, all right, I'm playoff Lenny. Gronk came back and balled out. Chris Godwin is going to get a monster contract somewhere else. Mike Evans had 2 1,000-yard seasons to continue his insane 8-season streak of 1,000 yards to start his career. Like, you have nothing but like love for this guy, and you're like, thank you for making me my receiver. Thank you for making me all this money. 3 rings here. Bill Belichick is the greatest head coach of all time because he had one of the greatest quarterbacks.
And Arians too.
Arians has to.
What happens with Arians?
He might go soon too.
Real quick, we're gonna have our boy Splash come in and weigh in on this. Here he is.
Oh, the quad five.
Hey, how's it going, fellas? So this is the second time that I've woken up at noon, 1 o'clock my time. It's like, okay, Saturday, it's whatever. The first time, it's friggin' Orlando Brown gets traded, and I'm depressed for a month, and then we draft Bateman and Owe, and then Tom Brady what?
Yeah,
Like,
maybe you got to sleep in more.
Yeah.
Maybe I do. So
Sleep in before the NFC Championship game tomorrow.
Okay. Well, first of all, I am in the very short term, I'm excited because the Ravens actually play the Bucs next year. So
Really?
that's great. Great for the Ravens. Lamar Jackson never lost to Tom Brady. Bow down, peasants, because I know all of your quarterbacks did. Anyway, although Stafford did knock Brady out of the NFL, confirmed. So yeah. So first off, great. Ravens, good. But I mean, what can you say about Brady? I mean, 7 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 MVPs, 3 All Pros.
Should have been more MVPs.
Probably. You know, you have the argument 2016
it got to the point where it was like, well, we
Matt
can give
Ryan.
it to him every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sorry,
you know,
Smart.
he was the first player to throw for 50 touchdowns. He threw for 5,000 yards.
Jeez.
He had I think the only knock you could possibly say is there are no knocks. Like, there's nothing you can say, well, if he had done better at this. No, there's maybe he should have beaten the Giants in the Super Bowl, or he should have beaten the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Okay, well, Brady, of all quarterbacks, has the record for most points scored in a Super Bowl by the losing team. So God Alex on the app can
And
talk about,
yards.
well, he only needed 13 points to beat the Rams. Cool. He needed 33 points to lose by a touchdown to the Eagles. Congratulations. You know, again, 7 Super Bowls, 10 Super Bowl appearances. The Patriots went to the AFC title game 8 years in a row. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. 2011 to 2018, that just doesn't happen. They went nearly a full decade without playing in a wild card game, but they made the playoffs every year. Like, they went 9 seasons without playing in a wild card game.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, man. It's unheard of. And Henry, I know you're gonna jump because it looks like you're freezing down there. So
Yeah, man.
I know you wanted to say your piece.
This isn't by choice. I'm frozen in a smile right now.
Hold on, Henry. Before you go, I got a little weather thing to chime in on. I am going to be at the Senior Bowl a day early due to a potential 1.5-foot snowstorm that is barreling towards my neck of the woods. That would basically signify if I don't get out Tuesday night, I don't know if I ever get out. So,
hey, worst place to be. There's worse
places to be than Mobile.
Hey, it's a cold day in Tampa. We're down to almost 40 degrees tonight. So hey, sorry, 35. But you know what though? It's cold, and I feel like the chill was reminiscent of what's going on. It's like everyone knew in Tampa when we lost on Sunday. It was like all week it's been crappy weather. I know it's not cold like winter wise, but like it's like a cold breeze. You know, you got that cold shoulder, that tingle down your spine. You know, something's gonna happen. It did. And like I told Jack before I got on here, I'm looking at my phone every 5 minutes. I'm getting an update from Twitter, and then the one update I got, I'm like, no, that's it. That was the one I was waiting for. Like I subliminally had a feeling it was gonna happen, just like Jack said, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, Hen, go ahead. I can barely hear you too.
The witch is dead.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
true, man.
Thanks,
It's
Henry.
very it's fitting on, you know, when Brady, with all of his memorable cold weather and snow games, for him to go out on a East Coast snowstorm. I think they're supposed to get like 30 inches of snow in Boston or something.
I believe the term bomb cyclone was used again.
I think it's bombogenesis, I heard. Is the term.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's first start in his retirement, he won 7 Super Bowl rings. The Miami Dolphins never won a single playoff game.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
like it.
Solid.
So
Wow.
I mean, I am not here to like pity or you know feel bad for any Patriot fans today. They don't deserve it. They don't.
No.
I don't feel bad. I'll never feel bad for any of them. They got to see the best player and coach in the history of the sport, probably in the history of sports, period, for 20 plus years, and you know all those wins. And I'm sitting here and I can't even win 6 games as a Jet fan. And I mean, just look what he did for and no offense, Stefan, and I'm sure others will agree, with basically how can I say without being offensive, like a meaningless franchise like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, look, yeah, they've been to, you know, they had the Super Bowl, and you know they've had some great players, mostly on the defensive side of the ball. But like when you think of the NFL, the Buccaneers are bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, they're not something you want to praise about. And then honestly, I might get some heat for saying this. The Jets are more of a storied franchise in the last 20 years than Tampa was, even with those two Super Bowls. I get it. Like Brady went down and did something no one has ever done. The Rams could do it this year, and it'd be the second team to ever do it. But like you said, it's just Tampa was just like a stop that he knew he had like a small window. Let's go to this team. They have the weapons right now. Let's see if we can make it work. And I think they went over expectation.
Definitely,
that
they won the Super Bowl.
Sure.
They did.
Yeah, right.
Did it.
So like that's why you can't even be mad. Like no one in this world right now, Tampa fans, New England fans, anybody, you cannot be mad. This man brought two cities Super Bowls, and he brought Tampa the best 2 years we've had in sports in the last decade. Or 2 decades actually, with the Lightning, the Rays, the Bucks. That was like the perfect storm in 2021 and 2020. That was that was it. So like to leave like this. If anyone's mad, you have no right to be mad. You just got to be happy with what you were given, because how many other franchises, the Lions, the Jags, these franchises.
Yeah. And you know that, I'm sorry, that Kraft and Belichick are going to have Brady, his retirement jersey retirement ceremony against the Jets next year.
I mentioned that
it's going to be like 45-3 again. And they're waiting just to like any time that they can, knock the Jets, they're going to do it. I guarantee you the ceremony is going to be against the Jets next year.
No, why would it be against the Jets? I think the Patriots would want it to be a Sunday night game, and the Jets aren't getting put on Sunday Night Football.
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll do a Monday night. Jets get like a random Monday night game every once in a while.
Yeah, or like Thursday probably. Like
just because the New York market.
Nick, you should make a take about it.
I will. I think I'm going.
Okay. Great.
Probably should. Yeah.
Home opponents are
they play us, don't they?
Buffalo, Cincinnati, Chicago, Detroit. Baltimore, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Chicago, Detroit, Miami, the Jets, Indianapolis. That's not a great list.
Give me the Jets. I'm telling you, because Kraft is going to want it to be.
Or would Kraft want it to be Buffalo? Because he's on
they hate the Jets. They don't want to beat Buffalo because Buffalo would beat them.
It could be Indy.
They want it to be
they
a
have
team
all those
that they
games
hate and that they can, flex their muscles on and beat them. It's gonna be the Jets. I'm telling you. One last fuck off to the Jets for Tom Brady.
It's gonna
go in and they beat him, and that's it.
Yeah, I mentioned before, I think on the last Sports Desk, that they don't like to retire numbers because they get scared of like running out of numbers per position. But this they're going to retire 12. This is not a question.
I think the Bucs should retire 12 as well.
They probably should.
They honestly, if they don't,
he's the leader in the. Like, go look at all the Bucs statistical numbers between quarterbacks. He's like top 3 in almost every single one of them already.
Yeah.
After 2 years.
Does this do anything? Do you see not that I think Todd Bowles is any good. Is there going to be some kind of mass exodus? Like Leftwich is going to want to go.
I think so. I think
Bowles will want to go, like jump off a sinking ship right now, or like there's always like some kind of domino effect after a move like this. Like you saw it in New England.
Yeah, I think
Gronk is probably gone.
Gronk for sure.
I think Arians is gone after this year. I think this team would. I think we're going to see a dismantlement of this team going into next year. I think Arians, Leftwich, I think he'll be gone. Bowles, maybe now he has a reason to actually go somewhere, maybe become a defensive coordinator or like
if anybody wants
somewhere else. Yeah, if anyone wants him. If not, he stays one more year, then he gets going. I mean, I think everyone had like a 3-year window with this team at max. Like they knew this was not going to be like a 5-6 year thing. Of course not. So I think they all were like contingent on like, hey, the first year we know we're going to all in. We all have to be together. The second year is when we start to like see how it happens, and if it ends how we want to, we'll see year 3. But it didn't, and I think this is where they all start to like.
Yeah, I think maybe they thought they would get one more, like maybe 3. That third year where because Godwin got hurt when he went down, man. Like the team just wasn't the same. He's so good, You had Fournette out for a long time. The AB situation,
the AB debacle. Because there was turmoil.
Remember, Tom Brady won his last career road game against the New York Jets.
I mean, he's got a ton of. He did this against the Jets. You can write a book about it.
Somehow that game will not be remembered for Tom Brady at all.
Yeah.
But Nick, before you leave, What? And I'm gonna ask everyone this one. What is your one Tom Brady moment, game, play? What was that one thing that you will never forget? That one play.
I was at the. So I'll give a bad and a good. I was at the Jets opener against the Pats when the 17-0 season when he hit Randy Moss on that deep post. I don't know if you remember that throw.
Yeah.
It was like
reaching
100
over
degrees
Revis.
out. Yeah, it was week. I don't know if it was week 1 or 2. It might have been the Jets home opener or just week 1 in general. I'm not 100% sure. So that was terrible going there. It was really hot. The Jets were supposed to be pretty good. And they just wiped the floor with us. And, you had Moss basically just posterize Revis. And good memory, besides for the easy answer is obviously the divisional game, which is probably my top moment as a Jet fan because all the AFC Championship, the 3 that I've seen, we've lost. So usually they end pretty badly. The divisional game was amazing. I mean, there's so many. That Thursday night I was talking about in the mud with, Calvin Pace sacking him, and it was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. The Jets, I think it might have been the Favre year. No, Favre year was the year when Castle was played. Maybe the year after that. And beating him in beating him in the game to get, even though the season again ended badly, beating him in overtime in 2016 with the Todd Bowles with the Decker, like that game was awesome.
Oh, Derek, yeah.
Yeah,
that
it
was when
Marshall and
Matthew Slater
Decker
called he called in overtime the coin toss got botched and Matthew Slater called the wrong call.
Yeah,
and you got the ball and then
with
bang bang. Ryan Fitzpatrick's like freaking Eli Manning over here to crush his heart.
Because we beat the Giants and the Pats back to back, so you were like, this team is going on a run here. Probably one of the best offensive seasons the Jets have had since '98 with Vinny, Curtis, Corbett, Keyshawn. Marshall put up like 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns. Decker was like 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. Chris Ivory was crazy. Anunwa, so that team had this wild offensive season. Beat the Pats in that game in overtime, beat the Giants, and then losing to the Bills to Rex in Week 17. It's always a bad ending with the Jets. So those are just a few games. I'm sure maybe I'll put together like a post of some of my favorite wins against Brady. There's
That'd
not
be a cool
many
thing to do. You can have people just share their favorite Tom Brady.
Yeah. Well, there was
you could do that as a reel there, Nick.
Pick 6, remember that? I don't know if probably honestly
the Denver Broncos
Splash
game?
is probably the only person here who knows Antonio Allen on the Jets from South Carolina. Yeah,
that's been a while.
He had that pick 6 against Brady in that one random game with Geno, and Geno beat him. So there's just some random games along the way, but man, there's a lot more. The Thanksgiving game, the butt fumble, obviously. But
I share a birthday with a butt fumble.
I was at the butt fumble game.
Speaking of birthdays and Brady, today is my son Luca's 2nd birthday. And
hey,
happy
Brady
birthday.
is gone on, so that'll be something I tell him about in a few years. Like
Tom Brady retired.
Brady retired. Yeah, your father is like the reason why he's been like a miserable sports fan his whole life. The reason why I retired on your birthday. So,
son, you don't have to go through what Dad went through.
I said that to him. Like watching football week 1 this year, I was like,
okay.
Or no, when he left last year, when he signed with the Bucs, I'm like, you will not have to see a single snap of Tom Brady in a Patriot uniform. You're already off to a better start.
My best and worst Brady stories. Oh man,
you're a Giant fan, dude. You only have good ones.
Come on.
I know. But I keep
even the loss was a good one.
Yes,
the
every so often
loss.
I will go back.
Great game.
When I'm sad or when I'm down, I'll go back and I'll rewatch the 2nd Super Bowl, the 2011, and on that Hail Mary, I still hold my breath.
Me too.
There's still a part of me that thinks that somehow, some way, Gronkowski's coming down with that ball. And if you rewatch 07, after Brady got sacked by Jay Alford in that final drive, I think people forget how strong Tom Brady's arm was.
Mm-hmm.
He was throwing that ball 70, 75.
Yep, I was going to say that.
Yeah,
and more than one of them was nearly caught. So that's what I remember. I just remember him You know that scene in the third Pirates of the Caribbean where the one pirate is sitting there and everything's blowing up all around
He's walking
him?
down the stairs.
He's walking down the stairs. That's what I think of Tom Brady. Even when he loses, he goes out in like a blaze of glory.
We literally just saw that with his last playoff game, too.
Yeah.
Like he was like, it started out poorly and then he just picked it up in the second half and it was like the game was just chaos at that point and Brady was balling out and like he almost, like you said, literally word for word, I'm just gonna rip off what you said. He went out in a blaze of glory.
There was a point of that game when I was watching it, Jack, and I'm sure you too. I was like, well, now you probably thought whenever it's your team, you always think the worst, but I'm sitting there, I'm like, is he gonna retire and he's gonna get his ass kicked in his last playoff game? Like, there's no way this is gonna happen. Like, what was the last time he got his ass kicked in a playoff game? Like, even when they lost
and then the Falcons Super Bowl, but they came back.
Yeah.
I think the Titans
won. Yeah, kicked and lost.
Yeah, the
2009 Ravens, maybe.
Yeah, that was probably it.
Denver Broncos in 15 when he got and it's funny because the way he ended his that playoff run is like the same thing because Von Miller was there, just like Von Miller was on last Sunday, and I guess getting hit by Von Miller that much it takes a toll, you know. Like I watched this guy get hit, but every time he plays against number 58 or number 40 now, you just know he's gonna be bruised up, and I think that kind of played a big role because watching that game, I was the only person in my house that said they're coming back. I've watched this happen one time in my life in the Super Bowl. They're gonna come back.
Yeah, I was
after.
Splash can attest
you never
to this.
thought he was done.
Literally, I wasn't even thinking about like the whole. You were like, is he gonna retire and maybe get his ass kicked? I was sitting there the whole time. We were up 27-3, and I was like, this game is not over.
Hey, I ended up being right because the Rams did win, and I said they couldn't overcome the pass rush. Well, they did, and then Cooper Kupp happened.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, boys. I'm gonna hop off. Keep going, keep it running.
Thank you.
And
thanks for hopping on.
Wow,
yeah,
still can't. It's not going to be not like I said mentioned. It's not going to be the same until it's not going to kick in until we don't see him. So have a good weekend, boys. Enjoy the games tomorrow, and everybody else. I'll talk to you
later.
Right, Nick, have a good one.
See you guys.
But real quick before I do hop off as well because I've got to get ready for work. I'm just going to tell you one of my better moments. I'm not going to go cliche with any Super Bowl. I'm not going to go with any playoff win. It was the Saints-Patriots game when Tom Brady had Austin Collie on his team, and they led that drive against the Saints where he threw a pick with 2 minutes left, got the ball back somehow, and threw a beautiful dime in the corner of the end zone to Cambrell Tompkins for that touchdown to win. And, of course, the worst moment had to have been, realistically speaking, it's the 07 Super Bowl. I watched that just like Zach watches the Hail Mary. I watched that catch. I watched that, and I'm just like, it hurts. It's like the only thing that still hurts, and I know the ending. I know what it was, but that's the one that will forever stick to my head, and I will always trade it. Almost any Super Bowl for that one win. And I think 80% of fans think the same way. So, Zach, you've got that permanently marked against me, so that always does sting a little bit, but I don't know. It's bittersweet. It's more of just like reality about to kick in a few minutes, I think. So
I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit, and it's great having the GOAT in our life for 22 years.
I think this is how we all remember Austin Collie.
Right.
Peyton Manning throwing hospital balls to him.
Pretty much.
I'm gonna head out. You'll see a lot more of me in the coming days, and of course, I'm going to be at the Senior Bowl a day ahead of schedule due to this winter storm that's preparing to absolutely pulverize the state of Missouri. So I'll probably talk to y'all from the airport.
Oh, okay, that works.
Stay safe, though.
Airport pressers are always fun. I will stay safe. I just need to hopefully the roads aren't too bad to St. Louis. But I'm flying out Tuesday because it's going to deteriorate pretty fast after that. Until then, I think I just got to say, Tom, as a fan of the sport, thank you. And on that note, I'm going to say hasta la vista.
Later, Zach.
Hey, it looks like the Sports Desk crew has found its way to Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon. We'll be back tomorrow for sure.
Oh my goodness, we will be back tomorrow
with the NFC Championship game. But I don't. You know what's funny is we're talking about like what are our the things that we're gonna remember him both for, like in terms of good and bad memories. Right now, my Twitter is pretty much just talking about like how like his last touchdown pass was he torched Jalen Ramsey to connect with Mike Evans, and it's like Tom Brady's agent apparently put out a statement saying there's let me pull it up really quick. This is
okay, while you pull that up, I'm gonna give my best and worst Brady moment. So my favorite Brady moment is, I believe it's 2009. They're playing the Titans. It's snowing. It's mid-October. It is snowing buckets. Like, I'm talking, it is a blizzard, and Brady just absolutely drops his nuts on the franchise known as the Tennessee Titans. That game was so bad, the Titans should be called the Oilers again. They lost 59-0. Brady had the record for fastest like split with 5 touchdowns. It was like 9 minutes. And they were up, I believe, 45-0 at half, maybe 52-0 at half. And it's like, whoa. Whoa, that is not supposed to happen. They ended up winning 59-0. It is the largest margin of victory in, decades. Like, we're talking, I think the largest win since, it might be the largest win since the 1940 NFL championship game. I don't think that's correct. There's a 66-0 game somewhere, but they got pulverized. They got demolished. They got destroyed. They got walloped. They got whacked. Whatever word you want to choose, they lost it. So that's my favorite moment, is just like the 59-0, like kind of like asserting your dominance, but on such an individual level that you can like see it happen, right? Winning 7 Super Bowls is one thing, but you can say, well, maybe they didn't deserve all 7, or like this never trust a yes man said he won 3 Super Bowls without having a touchdown. Okay, cool. So you can like pick and choose those individual moments that are, is it that great? Maybe. But 59-0 is great. So that's my favorite Brady moment. My least favorite Brady moment is 2016 Ravens Patriots. The Ravens are playing pretty well. The Ravens go down, kick a field goal, make it a 7-point game. I believe a 7-point game. And then Nick says, like Nick that was just in the show, Nick says, "Oh, don't kick field goals against Brady." And the very next play, Brady drills Chris Hogan on a fly route, and it's a 10-point game again.
Jeez.
Maybe 14, I forget, but we lost that game. Tucker missed his only field goal of the season because Jamie Collins jumped over the line, or Hightower jumped over the line and swatted it.
I think my favorite,
BS.
At least in recent memory, I really got a kick out of this still. It actually would have happened last year or this year during his return to Tampa or to New England, and I can't get over how funny it was when the fans just trolled him so hard. Like they had the applause going. Everybody was. This was like the most viewed Sunday night game, or it was like in the top 3, I think, most viewed Sunday night games ever. And just like all the audience, everybody's just going like, yay, Tom, we love you, Tom, we're happy that you're back. And then the immediate moment that he walks out onto the field for the Bucs' first drive of the game, he just gets booed nonstop. That was hilarious. That was I don't know why. That was hysterical to me. And like it wasn't even I wouldn't say it was like a great football game. I didn't think either team really exploded, but it was just funny to see that sort of thing happen in Tom Brady's first game back. Like you could tell the environment was definitely there for him.
Yeah, I feel like that game would have felt so different if so Brady had like 2 perfect deep balls. I think one was just out of the reach of Brown and one hit Brown in the hands. It's like if Brown catches either of those, I think he should have caught both. If he catches either of those, then you get like a proper send-off in New England that, oh yeah, Brady still got it. And the best part about this is it's not Brady like on his last legs. It's not Brady after like a bad season. It's he's going to finish second in MVP voting in all likelihood. He was a second-team All-Pro. Argument for him to be first-team All-Pro. this isn't like a Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson scenario, or I don't remember who the second best quarterback in 2010 was, but this isn't like a 1-2. This is a 1A, 1B, 1 for Aaron, or 1A for Aaron, 1B for Brady. And you're like, huh, he's gone. It is very much a Michael Jordan retiring after winning an MVP, winning the championship, and winning the finals MVP. Obviously, Brady didn't do that, not quite as much, but it does feel a little weird to me that he is retiring after having such a great season. And I know, I know he doesn't have anything to play for because he's already won 7, and no other franchise has 7. And like I get it, but at the same time, I feel like we're missing something.
It feels, like it just seems a little bit strange to me how out of nowhere this came. Like, I say out of nowhere. We all sort of had an idea that it was coming with all the news that was dropping, all the rumors, the reports, everything. And I think there was the CBS report last night that said that people within his inner circles or whatever were saying that he was going to retire soon. But like, it's still just like, you think about the timing of it after losing a divisional round game against Matthew Stafford, who's never won a playoff game before this season. It just feels off to me,
Yeah.
Like we're missing something here.
Okay. I'll give you this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it that Brady will actually play another game in the NFL? Whether it's he takes a season off and comes back in 2023, or he does pulls a Favre and comes back later in the offseason. Like,
I think if
do you think the door is entirely closed?
I think the door's shut. And I think once Tom Brady, right now, I think it's like there's like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like he absolutely will play a game again. I think it's about a 1. I think once Tom officially himself confirms it, then it's going to be a 0. I think he's done.
Wow.
But yeah, I just feel like he's had enough success in his career to understand, like, he knows when it's over, and he can retire on his own terms. He knows what he it's just like that sort of thing. Like, he will decide that he's finished, and he'll probably say something about, like, maybe he still wants to be involved with the game. Maybe he just steps away completely. I don't know. It'd be nice to see him do TV or something. It would be really weird to see, like, if he just didn't do TV or didn't, like, go with it. Like, the last we see of him is, like, he gets his jersey retired by the Patriots, and then maybe the Bucs, and then he just backs out for good, and we never see him again.
I'm going to say a 2. I don't... Okay, there's only a handful of athletes in history that have been as competitive and as successful as Tom Brady. The first example that comes to mind is Michael Jordan. He retired twice, came back twice, or retired 3 times, came back twice. Okay. So I think there's a chance. I'm not saying it's this year, but I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if I'm Brady, or if you see Brady maybe next year, like, look around the league, see, like, look for a 2020 Bucs situation and say, okay, this team is pretty good. They need a quarterback. And maybe that quarterback is, like, Jameis Winston was on his way out as a free agent. And it's like, maybe you pull the trigger. I think I'm going to say a 2. I think there's a chance he plays in 2023. I don't think he plays this year. I think there's a chance, maybe a 10% chance he plays in 2023. I think the NFL is better with him. And although I am glad that he is avoiding Lamar Jackson. That is what I'm going to send in the group chat. He is avoiding Lamar Jackson. He knows how good Lamar Jackson is. Because here's the thing: Brady beat Mahomes. Brady beat Allen. Did Brady beat Herbert?
I think he did.
Yes. I believe Brady beat Herbert. Brady beat Have they played? Have the Cardinals and Bucs?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because they didn't play in 19. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, Lamar Jackson is 1-0 against Tom Brady, and Tom Brady is so scared. He was so scared of seeing the Ravens in M&T Bank Stadium that is why I'm gonna use that in the AFC North group chat in about 10 minutes. Obviously, I doubt Brady factored in Lamar Jackson into his equation. I doubt he factored any player into his equation.
Yeah, and I know Rams Twitter are like we're all constantly making the jokes like, oh, Matthew Stafford sent him into retirement and all that stuff, but
he probably doesn't care.
Yeah, he probably doesn't give a crap.
Yeah, I think Brady, there's like a 10% chance he plays in 2023. That's my gut feel that he's so competitive that he wants another.
I feel like this year,
especially if Mahomes wins this year and then Mahomes wins next year, something like that, or Burrow wins both. If someone wins both years, 2021 and 2022, I think maybe like that itch gets back. It's like if Burrow can.
I mean, it happened to Gronk.
Yeah,
it happened to Gronk. He retired for a little bit while Brady was on the Patriots, and then just when Brady went to the Bucs, he was like, you know what, I want to come back. I'm getting that itch again, and he just
absolutely
pops back up.
Also, if the Saints had if you told me the Saints would have Jameis Winston week 1, Michael Thomas would be playing week 1, and they would draft a receiver at 18, I would put all of my money on the Saints winning the division right now. The Saints are
but the NFC
if they have a quarterback, they're going to be really good.
The NFC
they don't
South,
have a quarterback.
Though,
we have issues.
Yeah, exactly. And like if you don't know what's going on there, it looks like a complete mess. Like I don't even know who the starter is going to be in Carolina next season.
Darnold.
Probably Darnold.
Yeah, probably Darnold. Probably Darnold.
Jeez,
that's a disaster. Matt Ryan still. In Atlanta. I mean,
Atlanta's
like I have to be
franchise, pretty much.
I have to be a little careful because everything I say the next 8 months can be used against me, just in case the Ravens lose to one of these clown shows. But I mean, I would think the Ravens would open even in, let's see, they play Atlanta at home. They play, I believe, Tampa at home. They play at New Orleans they play Carolina and Atlanta at home. They play at Tampa, at New Orleans. They should open as favorites against all of those teams. I believe maybe New Orleans might open up as a slight favorite, but they're going to be favored by probably 5+ against Atlanta and Carolina. And then they'll probably be favored in Tampa, depending on who the quarterback is. Like if it's Aaron Rodgers, okay, then maybe not. Or if it's Rodgers in New Orleans, maybe not. But like if it's, I don't know, Jameis and Trask or Jameis and I don't know, Wentz, that doesn't make any sense. But regardless, I think that's
I think there's a little bit of buzz right now going on Twitter now because the TB12 Sports account deleted Brady's retirement tweet. I don't think we should look too deep into that because there's his teammates are posting like retirement. Like you saw Edelman posted one, Mike Evans posted one. So
yeah, I think there's too many like he's not gonna unretire today.
No,
I know that. Maybe in like August, maybe for his 45th birthday, right? Maybe he says, you know, NFL, I need to dominate you some more.
I think for now, you know who's going to be all over his butt is ESPN. I think ESPN is like they still want their like big name broadcaster for like Monday Night Football or whatever. I think ESPN might reach out to him.
That could be interesting. I would be surprised if Brady is not in the public sphere. He's done more commercials in recent years. He's in that that weird Subway commercial with Charles Barkley.
He's in all those FTX, the crypto commercials and stuff like that, where he was making jokes about like getting traded and stuff.
Trade.
I'm not a trade. I'm trading crypto. He was in I'm trying to think of what other commercial he was in. That Hulu one where like
was he in Trainwreck or is it just LeBron?
I think it was just LeBron. I don't think he was in Trainwreck. He was in Ted 2, I think.
That's right. I need to see
that. He was in that Hulu whole like has live sports campaign where he was like, I need to tell you something, and like he made that cryptic post on Instagram. That was pretty funny. Yeah, I mean this is
Let's see. So Jack, is there any other athlete that you think we would do the same kind of stream for? I'm curious.
Honestly, LeBron.
Okay, I was thinking LeBron as well. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Mike Trout maybe if baseball was more like active.
I cannot fathom that LeBron is in year 19 of his career and he might be the best player in the NBA still.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. And your Lakers suck still.
Yeah.
Hey, I could actually say that because the Cavs are better than the Lakers.
That's a story for another time because we've won a championship in the last 2 years.
This is true. Hey, the Cavs still run the East, so we haven't lost an Eastern Conference playoff series since 2010. Anyways, if you want more basketball content, make sure you tune in to Jake and my show Friday nights at 9. This week we'll actually be live at 7 to cover the Cavs and Hornets game. Jack, I appreciate you for having the forethought. Is that a word? Forethought to get this, because I can look back in the workplace and Jack's like, Henry, I think we should have a thumbnail just in case Brady retires. Like if nothing happens, I didn't
even mention the thumbnail. I literally threw this thumbnail together like right before we went live. I just said like we should be ready just in case. Like
yeah, and I think that
in the
was
coming days.
Great vision by you to say, hey, we need to make sure we're on our P's and Q's. Like I'm just gonna take the overarching theme and think you probably had your like setup.
I did not.
Like already,
I was like scrambling to get it together. I was
because mine was not set up because I had to do homework last night right where I'm sitting. So YouTube is Alex A says YouTube is littered with TB12 retiring news. Yeah, I would imagine so. I would imagine there were some people that had the right thought of saying maybe Brady retires. So I'm gonna have a thumbnail ready and I'm gonna have my situation ready. Thank you for the sorry.
Nope.
Thank you for the follow, Alex. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the comments.
It. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. Make sure you guys like the stream, support the channel. We do all kinds of live content, all kinds of non-live content as well. Splash and I are gonna be back tomorrow for our reaction to the NFC Championship game. Assuming I don't win tickets to this giveaway, I'm trying one time, just one time to get in there, and if I can't,
you could probably ask Frank. How much are tickets gonna run you though?
Like $600, honestly.
Okay, maybe not.
that's the get-in price right now. Is yeah. I have to win a giveaway.
I guess it's one thing if like Zach goes to the Senior Bowl or if I go. If baseball, please come back. I want to go to spring training. If baseball comes back, then I think spring training or the Senior Bowl are more accessible than an NFC title game. However, one day with uSTADIUM, I believe we will go to a Super Bowl together.
Yes, that would be awesome. I would love to go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if they're ever going to host another one in MetLife, but maybe they do. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. We're going to wrap up. Splash, I will see you tomorrow. I will hopefully see everybody at that stream tomorrow too. Thank you guys for watching.
Ring-a-ding-ding that Le'Veon Bell, by the way.
Yes. Get those notifications. Download uSTADIUM. Follow us at uSTADIUM on Instagram.
Why did I know this stream was going on? Facebook. I had my notifications on. I had my YouTube notifications for the uSTADIUM account on, and I looked over. I'm like, oh, can I go back to sleep at 1 o'clock? And like, I'm looking at my phone. It's like Brady retired. It's like, wait, what? And then I saw, uSTADIUM is live. It's like, wow, Jack is probably wondering where the heck Splash is, and turns out I was asleep.
All right.
So yeah,
we're gonna wrap up there. And
alrighty.
Thank you guys for watching. And as always, remember, Aaron Donald trains with knives. See you guys soon.